This is Grapplers Talk.
What is up, fans of Grapplers Talk? This is Dave coming at you with another episode each and every week. Thank you to the fans for downloading and tuning into the podcast. We appreciate all the love and support we get. I'm constantly getting messages, feedback from the fans telling me how much they're enjoying the show and some of the guests that we have. And I'm always trying to bring the best and most interesting guests on and people I think that are doing amazing things in the jiu-jitsu community. And first of all, I just got to say this show wouldn't be possible without our partners. We're partnered to you with Spar Bar Soap, one of the best antibacterial, antifungal soaps on the market, locally made here in the United States and California. If you go on their Instagram, if you go and purchase any of their soap, use promo code Grapplers Talk and you'll get 10% off of your order. That's only at Spar Bar Soap. And also, thank you to our partners over at Butterfly X, BFX Gear on Instagram, always providing us with the best rash guards, gis, belts. They're a one stop shop. And Academy owners out there, listen to this. If you need help getting rash guards, gis, belts, anything made for your Academy, and you just don't know where to start, hit up my friends over at Butterfly X. They'll take care of you. They'll get you all set up with high quality rash guards. You're not getting cheap stuff. You're not getting stuff that's going to last only one or two training sessions. Their products are very, very good quality. So hit them up, BFX Gear on Instagram. If you use promo code Grapplers Talk 10, you'll get 10% off any of the products you see on their website. Again, that's promo code Grapplers Talk 10. You'll get 10% off. So thank you to our partners. We appreciate you. We're gonna get right into this episode for this week. I met these two here at an event in Stockton, and they had a great thing going, and I was blown away by it. I was like, how has someone not thought of this before?
Right.
It's an amazing product, but I'm thrilled to be joined by the founders of RipNRoll, Eduardo and Amelia. Thank you both for being a part of Grapplers Talk. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Yeah.
for accepting us here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eduardo, I'm going to address the first couple questions at you. I just want to hear your story. I know you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but how did you originally get started? What age were you? Where did you start training at?
Everything started, I guess, when I was very young, like 5 years old, 6 years old. My dad used to train jiu-jitsu. He doesn't train anymore. And I think that was in the back of my head. I was like looking him training when I was very little in the pool area. And I think that sticked behind, in my subconscious. So, when I grew older, around like 13 years old, it was when I actually decided to get more involved with the martial arts aspect. But I was always a fan. I was always watching and like looking for going after,
Yeah.
but because I was so young, my parents end up deciding what sport for me to do. So I end up doing all the sports that a kid would have do, basketball, swimming, and etc. etc. But when I kind of decided to take actions by my own, I found a close place to my house that they used to teach amateur MMA, and
Okay.
that's how I started diving into it. I started with having classes of MMA, and the first class was a jiu-jitsu class. And I'm like, oh, I know this. My dad used to train. I remember him training. He still have his gis and blah blah blah. And that's kind of how it started. And I grabbed his old gis and I started training, and it was love at first sight. I couldn't let go anymore.
Doing amateur MMA, did you ever have any fights or did you ever explore the option of fighting?
Yes, I did. I did two fights, two amateur fights. I won both, and yeah, the my opponent was like way older because in the city that I was living in Brazil, South Brazil, it didn't have too much of a competitor people. So this guy ended up accepting, and the organization matched the fight, so we could have make it happen.
Oh wow. So two amateur fights. What stopped you from going through with MMA as a career path?
Dude, a lot of things going on in our lives that doesn't depend only on us when we are like minors. because end up a lot of decisions made was my parents doing the decisions for me. So my parents are separate, so I end up living a little bit with my dad, living a little bit with my mom, and on these transitions it was very hard for me to follow only one path, you know. But
Yeah.
I always kept training both ways. It was just hard for me to I was always very competitive, so it was hard for me to, when I was, for example, with my dad, find a good place for me to train. I end up there. I end up thoughting to myself that I was not training, and life keeps going, like going to college and stuff. You know, a lot of people in the head, but I always kept that deep down in my heart. Maybe one day I'll come back to the octagons. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, you're still pretty young,
It's for
man. You
fun, yeah.
you got plenty of time
I
ahead of
still
you.
love it. I still love it. It's so fun. Like I remember I started it with MMA, and since then it was something that was in, like I said, in the back of my head, that martial arts it would stay with me forever. Just the MMA part. I did a couple fights of Muay Thai too, um, Chinese box, Kung Fu, Muay Thai boxing, Sanda,
Okay.
which is the Chinese box called Sanda, a bunch of fights like this, you know, small
Yeah,
events.
just trying them out and
Trying them out, yeah,
being open to martial arts.
for
That's
sure, yeah.
truly what it's about. And the real martial artists out there, they kind of dabble in a little bit of everything, and that's the way it should be. There's nothing wrong with that. And eventually you find your niche or your calling, and you get drawn towards that side. So
Jiu-jitsu.
yes.
Jiu-jitsu, gi jiu-jitsu doesn't have nothing that translate better, you know? Like
Right.
if you fight with gi, if you're a good fighter with gi, you're gonna be a good fighter at no gi, you know, and it give you so much experience for other martial arts that it's unquestionable, you know? So I end up like, no, I'm gonna follow just this, I'm gonna focus on this.
Right. I absolutely agree with you when it comes to it. I'm a gi guy myself. I've always loved and respected and been in the gi. I originally found it and went the MMA route as well, but I went back to the gi and fell in love and kept continuing with that because I believe the same thing you do. Now, there's a lot of controversy going around, at least in the competitive scene with UFC BJJ, and you're seeing a lot of these gi guys come in and compete no gi, and people are saying that they don't even have a chance.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that the names maybe aren't as popular, so maybe people don't follow them as much, but there's nothing harder than gi jiu-jitsu and the toughness that it creates and the athleticism and the things behind it. There's way more to worry about with gi jiu-jitsu, right?
Yep. It's way more cautious. You have to take it. You end up you need less room to make mistakes. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have too much mistakes. You know, gi, while you can try something all the time because you can scramble out, in gi you have to be very cautious. If you make one little mistakes, it might cause the whole fight. So
Yeah.
way more planned and strategic. That's why I fell in love with it, you know.
Yeah.
I hate bored things. The way people
Right.
do boring things, you know, like I like to do things that okay, this is very complicated to do.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's the mind aspect and training the mind, the gi jujitsu, you're
Yep,
constantly working that mind and problem solving and I think that there's some sort of translation to life and learning when things get tough in
definitely.
life, you got to be able to problem solve and figure out a way around it. So, kudos to you. Talk about competition and what your competition has been like over the years and where you're at now and what you're doing nowadays with your jujitsu journey.
It's funny to think like this because I recently got my black belt, and once I started training again, I felt something different. It feels like that I don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. While when you are a color belt, I feel that you still have that drive of like, ooh, I wanna, I wanna be better than that brown belt there. I wanna sweep him next week. He's a brown belt. I need to be careful, you know, like he might know something that I don't know.
Yeah.
Not saying that I know everything, no, far from that, but I feel that when you have like a lot of baggage with a lot of experience, it will be hard for you to see something that you never seen before, So I guess that worried about like, oh, I have to prove myself, I have to go compete this weekend, I need to win, kind of got chilled down a little bit inside of me. And even now more that with Rip and Roll, another maybe not maybe but big news for us. It's opening our own gym here in Walnut Creek. So a lot of things going on that I have to be focused right now. That if I wait later, it might be too late. So maybe one day I can start, not maybe, for sure I will start competing again, but not with that competitive side, like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to go to win to prove myself. Now it would be just for fun.
Yeah. No.
For a long time I wanted to compete, to become like a professional. I want to build up my Instagram, I want to travel just doing jiu-jitsu, but life comes knocking your door and
Yes,
like,
sir.
bro, that's not how you need to eat, bro. Come on.
Yes.
you know
Yes. I
you
know
need to work.
exactly what you're talking about. The focus kind of shifts
Yeah.
depending on where you're at in that season of your life, and life brings you all kinds of different obstacles, different things happen. I'm in the boat where I just had my second kid, and that throws a whole nother wrench into everything. So you got to stay focused, and things will always come back. You can go and compete
Sure.
at any time, and
Yeah.
and the competitive field will always be there for you, but you do have to shift your personal focus and determine where you're at in life and what you got to do to succeed. But I want to lead into the next question. If this is too personal, it's okay. But I would just want to know how you guys met originally, and how this came to be.
Do you want to tell him or you want
I
to tell
think
him?
you should tell them.
I
No, I'll start it. No, it was just, kind of I'll share a little bit of my interest that pushed into jujitsu. Um, I grew up very introvert. I was always pretty small. I think that was also a big part of my personality. Is like, oh, small, frail girl, gotta be careful. I always was a people pleaser. I wasn't very confident. And my mom always put me, like he said, kind of our parents definitely have a say in where we go in our life. My mom always tried to put me in very feminine, dainty sports like ballet, dance. And I never felt like I fit into that. And as an adult, once you kind of start making your own path, I had a really good friend of mine who did jujitsu, and I did my first class at
I
her gym.
birimboloed her.
And then I found a gym locally where I lived, and I started training there. Couple weeks in, I met this guy, and yeah, he buried and
Class.
followed me, and I think it all started from there.
Yeah,
Our
that's
first roll, I'm like, she clearly does never train before, so I'm gonna play around with her to make her see how funny it is. But end up that she fell in love and we fell in love.
what was it? Do you remember the first time Eduardo asked you out on a date, or how did that go?
It was actually my fault. It was the
She
hottest.
planned everything.
No, we had our group set from jujitsu. We had our good friend group, and it was like the hottest day of the year, on Labor Day.
Hmm.
And I have a pool at where I used to live. So I invited all my friends. I was like, "Hey guys, like come hang out. We have a pool. It'll be a nice day." It was right after an open mat we had. And everyone said, "Yeah, I'm down. We're going." And so I'm planning everything, getting snacks. All of a sudden everyone texts me, "I can't make it. No, I can't make it. Sorry. Another time." But he was like, "When am I going?"
I was the
Yeah.
only one that could do it.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like he's gonna think it's a date. Like, what do I do? What do I do?" I ended
I
up,
was hoping to be a day. I was like,
Yeah.
I hope she asked everyone to cancel, so could be just us there.
and it kind of just started from there. An accidental date. I think we both then saw we were interested in each other, and then the very basic young people dates. We went a lot on movies. It was a big movie time. We saw all the movies that year, but that was fun. And yeah, I think then jujitsu really kind of pulled us even closer together because I had a big drive to, be good, and he was already pretty good, so.
Well, and with having a jujitsu relationship, you have that built-in buddy system. So, it kind of holds your feet to the fire. Hey, how come you're not training tonight? How come you're just sitting over there on the
Dude,
couch?
yeah, that's the
So,
best.
so you got that person with you, and it makes it a little bit easier. That's a very awesome story. I love hearing those root stories. But I've talked to you before, and I heard the story back in Stockton when I originally met you too. But I want to hear how Rip and Roll became to be a thing.
Mm. Yeah, well, I guess I can start on this because for a long time I was in favor. No, I was pro of the idea of like I don't need to use that because it's totally of first in Brazil that of course one first a waste of money, and second your grip's not gonna get stronger with that. You if you wanna have strong grips, you have to train your grips and be a man and grab the lapel,
Yeah.
whatever. But once I came here to US, things started to pissing me off so much because I was feeling my grips getting loose, even if I still have grips. And so one because of the traction, and another one that I was always losing tape. I had one little roll on my wallet, one little roll, almost done roll on the back of my car, one almost little roll done on my backpack. With a lot of hair, a lot of stuff. And every time when I was tired of training, I want to rip the thing, and my fingers was tired, and I'm like, suffering with it. And she's an industrial designer. When I met her, she used to work for this company that she can speak better, but big 3D printers that makes furnitures.
Mhm.
So with that, I'm like, can't you make something to put the tape in and makes it easier? And she's like, I think so. The same night she come up with a prototype with her little machine that was in her room.
Wow.
And then I'm like,
Mhm.
well, let's make this a thing. She's like, yeah, hell yeah, why
Mhm.
not?
And kind of to add on to that, I worked for a furniture design company and we had big 3D printers. And I had a little one at home, so I would prototype those little ones at home. And again, we were still just at the beginning of a relationship, so I wanted to impress him anything I could. And yeah, he gave the idea. I went home. I still have the postcard, the index card where I did the very first sketch.
Wow.
Um, and I remember that was just like wow, you can draw. And yeah, I modeled it, I printed it. I remember I used the blade from a pencil sharpener.
Wow.
Like I just pulled it apart and just screwed it in there. Very rough mock-up, very first prototype, but it worked.
Yeah.
And we brought it to the gym, and all of our friends, all of everyone who
I want
supported
one.
us
I
from the
want
beginning, they're like, "Oh
one.
my gosh, this
Give me
is so cool. Yeah,
one.
I want." And it's also nice, you always want to have that BJJ gear to start
Yeah.
conversation starter too, like, "Oh, what's that?" And it's like, "Oh, it's my rip and roll for my fingers that I tape when I train jujitsu. I train jujitsu. Do you
Yeah.
train jujitsu?" And it's really cool. And also, the community we've met literally through online social media has opened up even more doors and more opportunities for our future.
Yeah,
Like you.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's crazy the world of jujitsu and the connections you can make by having a soap brand or a rip and roll or a shirt or anything like that. It goes a long ways and people start to connect and relate to each other. Amelia, I want to ask you, how did your experience in 3D printing come? Like, how did you learn how to work in that field, or how did you get that kind of experience?
So, if you ask anyone who's known me since I was little, I was always that kid that built whatever she wanted from whatever she had, like boxes. I was a big cereal box girl, so but my mom had like bunch of random devices I made just from like cereal boxes. So yeah, that became definitely my direction towards my career path. I studied industrial design in college. And straight after I graduated, I landed a job at the furniture company. I also worked at at Hasbro. I during COVID, I
Wow.
had an internship there. So there I had kind of more my experience with like the playful side of design, which kind of also ties into I always loved working with kids. So everything kind of, I worked for a toy design industry, then for furniture design. While I was working for that furniture design industry, I was coaching at the jujitsu gym. So then I got like back to that working with kids that I love
Yeah.
much. So it's kind of the both best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, and getting that experience is great. Talk about 3D printing, and now you see it nowadays, and some of us older generations like myself, born in the 80s, right? So I'm like, what's this about, right? But it's you could literally print almost anything, and I have a cousin who, if he breaks something on anything that he's working on, he can 3D print it and fix it right there.
Yep.
And it's
Car
amazing to
parts.
see.
Everything.
Yeah, car parts and little things and gadgets that you don't even think about. You can almost 3D print them instantly.
Yep.
Talk about some of the products you guys have created along with the Rip and Roll,
Mhm.
the mobile Rip and Roll. You have a lot of different things that you guys have. Talk about some of those other products that you guys have, as far as the mobile station, the ring saver, other things.
Yeah, so right now we only have focus on two products, the Rip and Roll, the tape holder comes with a carabiner, and now we have a magnetic closure. So that one's, portable, keep your tape, easy to cut. Our ring, we call it the wife keeper. It's the ring holder,
Or the husband keeper.
or the husband
Yeah.
little keychain that goes on your backpack where because at least for me I always lost my jewelry when I'm training because I take off my necklace, I put it in my shoe, I put it in a cubby, I put it wherever I can. I have lost it so many times.
We all know someone that lost their ring or
Uh,
something on the mat, you know?
Yeah.
And trying to literally solve people's problems.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And,
so I made it for me. And then again, you take it to the gym and everybody's like, what the heck? Why is that not on your website? I want one. So cleaned it up, put it on the website, and yeah, it's uh, definitely interested for a lot of people.
and what I like about the Rip and Roll, I'm gonna actually grab mine here in a second. But what I like about the Rip and Roll is you guys have different colors, customizable designs. I've seen ones with shark faces on them and bears and all kinds of different things. Talk about some of the customizations that you can do with the Rip and Roll while I grab my Rip and Roll.
Okay. So we offer like the exclusive ones, where we already have our set more fancier designs like the shark, the bear, but also you have the option to customize yourself. Um, You shoot us a message, let us know what your interest in customizing is, and then we
That's it.
work on the design. We send it to you for approval, and then we start working on it. We've had a lot of fun designs people have done. My favorite was the rooster. Someone
The
asked for,
rooster.
so I made it like I had a lot of fun with it because, there's limitations to the shape you can make it. It has to have a hole in the center, which has caused a lot of limitations, but we've kind of perfected and mastering on how to work around it. And yeah, it's honestly even given us a little fun challenge to make the design still work and still look really cool.
Right now, we are getting to a collab with TMDL, The Mets Don't Lie, which is a clothing company from here, the city, which is a friend of ours. He trains at Saber here there in Concord.
Yeah.
And we are doing this collab for the November, the Blue November for the men's health. And I think she went to grab it. And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool how he comes up with it because at first the costume ones was something very simple, and she's so talented that every time she does it, it gets better somehow. So this it's the
Oh wow.
it will be coming out soon. Oops.
There we go. We got it
Yeah.
focused. That is very cool. I like that.
Every little piece is separated and put it together, so she makes it looks hella cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Rip and Roll design is just really really great, and you'll see mine right here. I originally bought the thinner one. I forget what the exact size
Point
is on
three.
this. Yeah, point 0.3. I originally got this one. I loved it. It's great for taping your fingers. but I also run my own academy. And what I realize is the half inch for stripe promotions is the easiest way to rip all the stripes. You can be
Yes.
there trying to rip them, and people are waiting, standing up there in front of
Yeah.
a group of people. It gets awkward.
Yeah.
So using the rip and roll, you cannot go wrong. You could rip 10 stripes in a second. It's so easy, so great to use. I used it during my belt promotion, and I tell you what, I wouldn't have done it without it. Great
Yeah.
product. I
Thank
love
you.
it. So I also want to talk to you both about some of the exciting things that you guys have, and you guys were able to sponsor or partner with one of the top ladies in jujitsu, in the whole jujitsu scene. Let's be real, but talk about how you got linked up with Helena and her being one of the early adopters of Rip and Roll.
So I was always a person that likes to go very deep into everything that I get, that I am into it, but I'm very easy to get out as well, you know? So I jumped into it. If I don't like it, I'm gonna jump out. And once we came up with the idea of Rip and Roll and we decided to do the patent and everything, I decided to text every fighter. I send a message to every big fighter out there, like all of them. If you think a name, name it. I've sent the message, and I think like two or three text me back, and Helena was one of them. And God put things on my way. Hold on. God opened door for me, opened doors for me that it's unbelievable. It's only he could have do it, you know? So it was matter of like one or two texts, and she sent me her PO mailbox to send her a sample. And we did, and she grabbed it, she loved it, and next week we had a contract together.
Yeah, that's that.
Simple like that.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
if you don't shoot your shot, right? If you don't try it out and see what's gonna happen, you
You
never
gotta act.
know.
You
Yeah.
gotta do it. I sent it to Mika. He has a couple of rip and rolls. Mika Galvão,
Meat.
Amit, Elor
Yeah.
too. I went to their gym when they come to, because she's from Walnut Creek. So when
Yeah.
she's here, she used to come live, stay here with him. He comes stay with her, and then she goes work out at the same gym I work at Pharma, and I end up seeing him like making a costume one for him. And of course, like he's in another level of athlete, so he has different type of contracts and stuff. But um, yeah, I think God have been opening doors for me
Mhm.
since I started, since we got together.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes those things are just meant to be, right? And
Yeah,
the
thanks
way the
God.
universe works, you never know what's gonna happen, who you're gonna get
Mm.
a berimbolo in jujitsu, and
Literally, yeah.
and then next thing you know,
And
you guys are in a business together
yeah,
and doing big
two,
things. Yeah.
two.
What's the other one?
So we just announced the opening
The
January
gym.
1st of our gym, Epica Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
Nice. And do you guys have a location or an address that you guys could share?
Yes, 1208 Boulevard Way, Walnut
Nice.
Creek.
Nice. And I'm assuming you guys are going to be offering gi, no gi classes.
Yes, Muay Thai, boxing, everything.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And that's opening January 1st.
January 10th. Sorry, that
January
was
10th. Okay. So yeah, if you are in the area, you're looking to get into training to martial
yeah.
arts, you got to get in there and get a roll with my buddy Eduardo. Eduardo, you're also doing seminars, correct?
Well, that was never a thing for me. I guess my plan now is just like focus on rip and roll and on the gym, you know, and then maybe soon later on. I am more the type of person who would have contact some big fighter to come do a seminar, you know.
Yeah.
I guess that would have worked better, but I'm open to it, you know. I can not like Renzo Gracie says, knowledge is supposed to be shared. So
Yes.
everybody has something good to offer, you know. Everyone, it can be anybody. Everybody has something good to offer. So if someone wants a opening, see, I'm
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, but you guys are doing amazing things with Rip and Roll with the gym. It's exciting to see a young couple like you guys, putting it all out there and following your dreams and your passions. I'm a big believer in life is way too short, and we're only
Yeah.
on this earth for so long, so you don't
Gotta
want to
hurry
be
up.
in that grave saying what if, what if, what if,
Yeah.
and
Like jujitsu. It's like,
yes,
it's so funny because I had a friend who was telling me, I was tell way before Rip and Roll, I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna open a Rip and Roll, blah blah blah. And then he was like, yeah, that's a black belt mindset. And then I started understanding like how it's familiar to fighting. Like, or either you do or either you don't, or either you go there, put your face and try something new than everybody did and take your shot, or you never pass someone's guard, or either you try, or either you do the motion of passing, or you never pass. So
right.
it's very translatable to
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, you're very right about that. It is so translatable, transferable to life, and it's really like you find out who you really are in jujitsu when you think about it, and that shows you a little bit about who you are in life, and those entrepreneurs born in the gym, I love it. I love seeing those people
Amen.
because
Yeah.
those are the ones that succeed, and
Amen.
yeah, it's really, if I'm gonna put my faith in anybody, and I've been in a job position where I had to hire people and fire people and things like that, but I would always like in a job interview, if somebody mentions they train jujitsu, they're like way up the list.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because I know they're not a quitter. I know they're gonna be tough. I know they're gonna endure hardships. I know they're willing to go through the ups and the downs, and really it shows me the character that they are in life. And I think that if you're pursuing jujitsu and businesses and things like that, you're bound to succeed because jujitsu is one of the hardest things on the planet.
Yeah. And do something you like and you never work in your day in one day, right? Is that
Right.
what they
That's the
say?
saying. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the saying.
Kind of
um
adding on to that, our slogan for our gym and what we're gonna teach our kids is no fear, face your fears and live your dreams.
That's true.
And that's something that he taught me since we met. And that's helped me grow as a person is just like, just do it, The worst thing that can happen is nothing.
yeah. Yeah, and that's usually what happens more often than not, right? Is
Yeah.
is people overanalyze it, nothing ever happens, and they just sit in the same spot. But if you try, if you put yourself out there, it's scary. Like, to be an entrepreneur, to even have a podcast, right? Like
Yeah.
it's you're putting yourself out there to the
It's a
masses
bunch
for
take it.
everyone. Yeah,
I was
and
about to mention that it's not easy having a podcast, I imagine.
no,
You
it's
got what everybody's gonna think, like every decision, every left and right turns. But
yes.
like I love to say these things that comes from Brazil because it translates a lot to me. It's like one day I had a professor who used to tell me that it's just like jumping out of an airplane. Once you get close to the door, it's you super afraid, butterflies in your stomach. But once you jump, now it's just enjoying. So for everything that you're feeling afraid, maybe the answer is actually doing it, even afraid, not stepping back and ifs.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want those ifs and what if I would have done this, or what if I would have created Rip and Roll or anything like that,
Yeah,
and Kobe Bryant, I've always been a big fan of him, and he talked about the
could be that.
journey along the way, and really, like, everyone sees the success and they see the championships or the beautiful gyms, but they don't understand the hard work, the labor, everything that went behind that. And that's what scares people the most. But if you get into it, that's really what the whole thing is about,
Yeah.
is those late nights, those early hours, late night teaching classes, setting up the mats, all that fun stuff goes into it, and that's what it's about. But truly, I really appreciate talking to both of y'all. I'm excited for the future of Rip and Roll. I like to always hear do you guys have any goals for Rip and Roll in the future? Any direction that you guys like to put on the wall or set your mind to?
I guess our main goal right now is make people know about us
Mhm.
because as I put a lot of my head into the pillow. We did, actually. It was that when you break your water bottle, you know where to find and you know that you need a water bottle, right?
Yeah.
Yes, right now we just need to put the word out there that Rip and Roll is here and it came to stay. So maybe uh, bigger company see the potential on us, maybe in a future, and see how we going from there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, in places, I know in San Diego, the King store just opened up. They have a brick and mortar facility now. So
Yeah, I saw that.
hopefully we start to see more brick and mortar places pop up for specialty jujitsu stores, and with the growth and expansion of it, hopefully it gets more and more popular.
That
Uh,
he will, to be honest, you know. For example, Helena Crevar's her audience, it's major kids, you know, major like teenagers that does wrestling and does jiu-jitsu like little young people.
yeah,
I think that's the future, right? Like you have to do stuff thinking about like way ahead. And
yeah,
jiu-jitsu is growing so much since the 2000s to now. It grew so much and it will still grow. You know, we I've seen this urgency of moms, parents getting self-defense for their kids. They're going to college or they have been going through something at school, and you see more and more these people looking for answers, you know, like
yeah,
oh, how can I do under this scenario? I'm not a fighter, never fought, but yesterday someone screamed at me like I don't know what to do, you know. And that's what we're here for,
yeah.
teach people and solve people's problems.
Yeah, this world's a crazy place, and it's getting a little wild sometimes, but
Yeah,
you see those parents out there, and a lot of it is just getting their kids out of the house, away from the TVs and phones and things
screens,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, and getting them active and doing something that's going to help them in life.
True.
And again, I just want to say to the both of you guys, thank you very much for being a part of this episode of Grapplers Talk. I'd like to give you just a few minutes to plug your website, your products, how they get a hold of it, how they can buy it from you guys, anything like that. But just take a couple minutes. The floor is yours.
So for Rip and Roll, our Instagram is ripandroll.official. Our website is ripandrollofficial.com. You can go ahead and go there and you get access to our Shopify store. You will see all of our products we offer there. We also sell tape separately. So, oh, that's one thing to mention. Rip and Roll does fit mostly all
All the tape. Yeah.
the tapes that are offered out there. But we do sell our also ourselves. So if you're interested in buying in a couple of packages, we offer that too. Get fun with it. We just launched some new colors. Just I think this morning someone ordered our hot pink. So we're
Wow.
excited to finally get that out there.
And if you want 10% of discount on your purchase, remember to use Helena 10 for to get this 10% discount on your order.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always nice to get those discounts.
Yeah.
Everyone loves those. But yeah, and I actually bought one from you guys in person, and then I went on your guys' website and bought one after the fact, just to kind of see the process. And it arrived on time, very early. Actually, it was way ahead of schedule. And I was very happy. So
That's her.
yeah, thank you
Yeah.
guys very much for the attention to detail too. You can tell it goes into it. You guys thought about it. You guys have worked out, all of the kinks that I've noticed, that you guys have this thing dialed in perfectly. So,
It's
um,
good to mention too that we are just beginners on it, you know, so probably and most likely, just like jiu-jitsu, like a white belt, it's gonna have a lot of mistakes that we're probably letting slide. And as a beginners, feel free to text us, send us DMs, emails to any problem you guys feel
Feedback.
or any feedbacks too that you guys have for us. Please send us. I will be more than welcome. And if any problem happen, we will be more than happy to solve those problems.
yeah,
As a small company, small business, I think this relationship with customer would be very important. So know that you guys have someone here to support you guys too.
yeah. It's the most crucial thing as a small business is making sure that customer
Yeah,
relationship
of
is
course.
taken care of, and your customers feel taken care of. But again, you guys have a great product out there. Keep it up. I encourage you guys to just keep following your dreams and passions.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the gym as well. I'd like you to plug that address and the name of the gym just one more time. It's going to be opening up January 10th.
Exactly. 1208 Boulevard Way. You want
Wow.
to say again?
1208 Boulevard Way, Walnut Creek, California, 94595. You guys can reach us at 925-334-0672 or 510-875-0331.
There you go.
It's Epica Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and we'll be offering Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai classes for adults and kids.
Now, my last question to you is, do you guys have any promotions for early signups or any ways that people can sign up ahead of time?
That's a good one. Good that you mentioned. So we do have our founder members, 31st members will be paying only $150 for a lifetime. So the first 30 members know that you're gonna be on us for $100 and $150 forever. So
Will be unlimited access.
and it will be
Nice.
unlimited access. So you have access to the Muay Thai, to the Jiu-Jitsu, the programs that we have in our new facility.
Yeah, that's an amazing promotion too to have for a lifetime member. That's awesome to have. So if you're in the Walnut Creek area, check them out. Also pick up a RipNRoll from them. You're not going to be disappointed. It's really you don't think you need it until you have it, and then
Until you have
you're
it,
like,
yeah,
how did I
exactly.
live without it?
That's something that I've been hearing a bunch. I'm like, at first I looked at it, I was like, I don't need that. But once you buy, you kind of like, okay, that makes much more sense.
Yeah, it just takes a couple times to tweak your fingers or hurt your fingers. Then you're like looking for that RipNRoll all over the place. So thank you guys very much for being a part of this. Again, thank you to all of our partners, the fans of the show. Keep tuning in each and every week. Video episodes available on YouTube. Give us a subscribe. Check us out. We're always updating the content and putting weekly podcasts out for you. And also download us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where you get your podcasts. We're always there for you. Again, this has been another great episode of Grapplers Talk. I want to thank the team over at RipNRoll for being a part of this. Again, go check them out. Thank you very much. This has been another great episode of Grapplers Talk. This is Dave, and we are out.
This is Grapplers Talk.